So good evening. Hello and assalamu alaikum to all of you. This is Charuk Yusuf, your tutor, facilitator, and helper for F8 Audit and Assurance. I officially welcome you all to the Vertex webinar for December 2025. Hereby, we will be summarizing, collecting, and comprehensively wrapping up the Audit and Assurance course for your upcoming December 2025 ACCA attempt. Okay, so without wasting any time, let me just give you all the agenda so that you all know, we all know what we are going to do today. Even I don't know what we are going to do today. So yeah, okay, that's my favorite one. Okay, ACCA AA webinars, AA webinar, December 2025. Okay, there it is. So the agenda will be like, so firstly, we will have a look at uh, the revision period related notes. So we'll have a look at all the notes that you should be having. So your exams on, I think, is it on, can anybody confirm, is it on 2nd of December, isn't it? 2nd December exam date. Can anybody confirm in the chat box? Today it is 23rd of November. So you have approximately 10 days to exam date. Okay. This note, this session, 1st December. Okay. Pallavi says 1st December. 1st December. Thank you. Sorry. 1st December. So you still have, I think, 7, 8, 9 days. Okay. 9 days. Yeah. Note. The plan, the discussions is based on your 9-day plan up to the exam date. Okay. So everything that we discussed today is basically based on on your plan up to the exam date. Your exam's on 1st of December and it's 23rd of November. It may be 24th in some countries. So 8 or 9 days doesn't make a real difference. Okay. So plan / agenda, whatever. Revision period related notes we are going to discuss. This includes exam techniques, exam drills, examiner expectations, and examiner expectations. So these are the notes. And okay, then we have yeah, discussion on examination trends. That's going to be the last thing. Yeah, but my most favorite thing. So I'll keep it at last. And thirdly, what's that? Examiner report. Yeah, examiner report, March, June 2025. Okay. Right. So this is going to be our agenda. So as you guys can see, okay. So now we'll start with the exam technique notes. Just hold on. I think my system's hanging. Yeah, sorry. Literally, my system just crashed. It gets very frustrating. Let me check if I can share my screen again. Can you guys see my screen now? It says audit and assurance revision notes. Can you guys confirm, please? Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, so these are audit and assurance notes. So these are my words. So basically, the purpose of these notes are to provide you with an overall technique-based summary of the entire syllabus, AA syllabus. These have been prepared on uh, have been bifurcated uh, in line with your syllabus areas. So for each syllabus area, we have kind of drafted different exam techniques, okay? Knowledge is important, but exa without exam techniques, obviously, you won't be able to excel your double exam, honestly. So without wasting any time, so your first syllabus area, Code of Ethics and Code of Corporate Governance, are knowledge-based areas. Yes, they are test of your memory, hence they are rarely tested in section B, but yes, they can be tested as well. So I think we have done a few, they do not, so just ignore this sentence, okay? Ignore this sentence. I'll try to highlight this as well. Strike through, okay? They are tested in section B and rarely, but they still require techniques, and we have done a few videos for them, and those videos are there on the portal. If you go and check Code of Ethics and Code of Corporate Governance. So, but their quantum is quite low in section B. If they, even if they are examined, they won't be examined for more than 5 to 6 marks. But yeah, we have done, definitely we have covered the exam techniques for these areas. So I think from what I can remember is you need to identify with the weaknesses, and then you need to explain what the weaknesses are. I mean, we won't go in detail today because we have got the videos for them, so you guys can have a look at the videos. The practice question videos. You don't have to look at everything, but at least you can look at the practice question videos whereby we have practiced one of the section B related exams. Okay, so ignore this second point because the this second point was based for a time when it wasn't really examined in section B, but now it is. They are majorly tested in section A, and to excel in this area, you need to watch, learn, and take notes of all the rules and in the videos uploaded on the site. So I think Again, don't get carried away by the wordings. They are tested in section A and B both, but majorly they are tested in section A. So that's what it actually means. Yep. So section A is all about MCQs, you guys know. So moving forward, audit planning and risk assessment. It is a regular feature, especially in section B. However, it is also examined in section A. Normally, you will have you guys know a 16-mark question for 8 audit risk and responses. That's literally a common feature, a regular feature in section B. So you guys should know that you have got 8 marks, 16 marks, 8 marks for risk, 1 mark per risk, and 1 mark per response. Now let's have a look at the risk. Now this is just an example. So you guys know this is your Darjeeling company, a question from your ACCA exam, Kaplan exam kit. So as you can see, if I move up a bit, so this is the questions you see during the year Darjeeling company. So we have got the exam techniques on the left. Um, you need to recode, simply copy and paste the sentence, or it's better that you rephrase the risk that you have picked up from the scenario. Okay. Explain the treatment of the accounting standard. Do not write the standard number. You don't need to do that. The impact arises due to non-compliance with accounting standard. Over Now, over or understatement, let me make a note here. Make sure the relevant expense that is impacted, the relevant affected FSLI is mentioned. Say if the impact is on depreciation, then you say depreciation will be over slash understated and not, yeah, not the whole. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I can't really copy it here, the whole of it. Now the examiner, there's a bit of change. The examiner wants you to be very, very specific. Now, in this case, if we see as per IS 38, research costs shall be classified as expenses in profit or loss, while development costs shall be capitalized as intangible. However, in this case, the entire cost has been classified as intangible assets. Hence, there is a risk that management has incorrectly, leading to overstatement of assets and understatement of expenses. In this case, you will say overstatement of intangible assets and understatement of expenses. Okay. So say if the impact, so I'll mention if the impact is on intangible assets. Sorry, amortization. Then you will say amort will be expense will be over or understated. I think that's pretty clear. You don't have to write down generic. Now that becomes generic. Now previously it was acceptable. Now it won't be acceptable. So again, requotation, accounting treatment, risk and impact. There is a risk that the cost has not been classified correctly. Hence, intangibles may be intangible asset leading to an overvaluation or overstatement of intangible assets, an understatement of amortization expense, or sorry, research expense. Understatement of, sorry, it's research cost, research. In this case, research say research plans will be over. Is this clear to all of you? As illustrated, yeah, you will be write a response for a combination of risk and response fetches you 2 marks in total. The exam technique for auditor responses is that similar to substantive procedures, refer to syllabus area D. So we'll move forward and we'll see what the uh, techniques are for syllabus area D. So is this clear to all of you? Any questions as far as audit risk is concerned? Or I can write it, move it here. That's fine. Hmm. Somebody raised their hand. Who was it? Why need to phrase it? Sir, we should not copy paste the risk identified. We need to phrase it in our own words. It's better that you rephrase it in your own words. Yes, you can copy it as well, but I think if you copy it, then don't expect that the examiner will wholly and solely mark you for copying and pasting it. Okay, you won't be credited for that. You need to explain it further. Yeah. Yes, Fahim, you raised your hand. Is there anything that you need to ask?
Yes, teacher. It's the risk management, this like the response section and then the substantive testing response section where I'm getting a little bit confused when I'm solving the questions is this one we discuss other aspects like more like not just the procedures like in the substantive test not in the substantive yeah in the substantive testing the procedure section we are more explaining in a way that like the procedures like get this and then affirm the assertions and then in this one we also discuss about other stuff like control deficiencies and these kind of things. I just get a little bit confused. Can you like clear the difference a little bit more between this one and the substantive testings response one?
So we have discussed this previously as well. Now,
Yes.
this is something that this is a very common confusion.
Yes.
Substantive procedures or test of controls, both of them are two different types of auditor responses. When you say auditor has identified a risk, now he needs to respond to it. There is a threat coming. Okay, you're driving on two-way road. Okay, and there is a risk that the car can, there's an oncoming car from your left. There's a junction. So there is a risk that the car might jump into you. Okay, now you need to respond. Now you either respond by overtaking the car on your right, option one. Option two, you slow down. Okay, in such a way that you can avoid collision with the car that's coming from the left and with the car that's behind you as well. Okay, so either you change the lane or B, you slow down. So changing lane, test of controls, slowing down, substantive procedures. Okay, both are different types but of auditor responses, but the objective is the same, that you are addressing the risk. In test of controls, You are actually addressing the control risk. Now, don't get confused between audit risk and control risk, because control risk is itself a part of audit risk. Do you know that, or you remember it?
Yes, teacher, that one I remember. But I get more confused on this one, this the risk assessment and the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
So
that's what I'm saying. The
yeah,
examiner is asking you to type the audit responses. They are not saying substantive procedures. They are not saying test of controls. So you have free hand. You can write either test of controls, but you can
or
write substantive procedures. However, depends on the risk itself. Do you understand? If
yeah,
the risk requires you to draft substantive as an auditor response, but you end up drafting test of controls, you won't be marked then because your procedure, but because your response will be irrelevant. You get it?
yes, teacher. Now I'm kind of getting it because this one is more like overview of what we should do, and those two are more in detail the way we should do it.
No,
Like,
no, no, no. You're still not getting my point. You're still not getting. What I'm saying is, listen to me carefully. What I'm saying is, both of them, test of control is in detail, substantive procedure is in detail as well. An auditor response itself is nothing. Either substantive procedure can be a response or test of control can be a response. Anything that you write in risk question could either be substantive procedure or test of control. Depends on the risk in the question. Do you understand now?
yes,
So this one, what is
that was
this? Let's take an example of this one. Sorry. If we look at this one, obtain a breakdown of total expenditure of point 0.9 to confirm whether this relates to what's that? That is substantive procedure.
yes. This is the substantive. Yes,
Review on sample basis supporting documentation to confirm, that's also substantive procedure.
yes,
But what if you write down that I will observe the intangible asset procurement process? That's test of control. Why are you writing that here? Doesn't make any sense. You get it now?
yes,
Depends on the risk. The risk over here is that intangible assets will be overvalued, research expenses will be understated. So you need to draft a response that's relevant to this risk. And these two are substantive procedures. Now you get it.
yes,
Auditor responses and substantive procedures, they are not different. Auditor responses, test of controls are not different. Test of controls, substantive procedures, both are two different forms of auditor responses. But yes, test of controls and substantive procedures are two different things. You get it
yes.
now?
Yeah, that I can kind of understand. This one was
Yeah.
the one.
Okay. Let's
Thank you,
move
teacher.
forward. Internal controls. It is crucial to understand that substantive procedures are not only the audit procedures, test of controls are also essential audit procedures that cannot be ignored. Internal control understanding is the foundation of external audit, allowing you. So yeah, we have done internal controls in great detail. So I've told you there are two types of internal controls. Case internal control strengths, there where you get identify and explain the five controls the auditor would place reliance on. Identification of each control would fetch you um, 5 mark, a 0.5 marks, hence 2.5 marks for identification of five controls. That's and 2.5 marks for explanation of each. Have a look at the screenshot below. So that's a question Raspberry company from your Kaplan kit. While identifying, first code the internal control that you pick up, this will fetch you. Okay, so recode, you can copy and paste, but again, now I believe you should be able to draft in your own words if you I mean, simply copy and pasting. Now you see, you copy and paste, I wrote, you get 0.5 marks, but you will only be rewarded if you continue explaining it. If you simply write down, if you simply copy and paste, you're not explaining, you won't be even rewarded for copying and pasting. Remember that, Raspberry has a separate HR department responsible for employing new joiners, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you need to continue explaining, and I think it's better that you guys see one of the internal control practice session videos where we have done it in great detail. That when you are explaining, you need to explain the strength, how you think it is improving the process, and you need to start your words like owing to, due to, because of. I can write that down here. Yeah, sorry. Tip: explain due to, because of. Explain, start sentence. Due to lack of space, I can't do much, so that's why. Yeah, so that's how you start your sentence, by due to or because of or owing to. And we have done this in great detail. So the other thing that you do is internal control weakness. Hereby, the requirement is pretty simple, that you get to know you need to identify the control weakness. Then you need to explain that control weakness. Then you carry on recommending, then the recommendation to address each of these weaknesses. This is another requirement, and in this requirement you need to draft 1 to 2 recommendations per control. I think go with one recommendation, that's fine. One recommendation for one control weakness is more than enough. And one thing that we are missing here is, that's the second thing, identify, and third, number 3, test. So, that's not what you do here. With control strength, you can write it down. Sorry. If we move up, number 2, after the control, after identifying and explaining control strengths, you may be required to draft a test of control. One test per strength, control strength. Same VSO technique that we use for same VSO technique. Okay, now VSO technique we'll do after a while. I think you guys should remember what VSO technique was. So one thing that I missed in control strength case was that there are 2 requirements. For the first requirement says identify and explain the control strengths. So that will be, I think, a 5-mark requirement, isn't it? Yeah, depends. Yeah, 0.5, 5 marks, total of 5 marks. Another requirement would be for test of control, another 5-mark requirement, 5 marks. I can write here, 5 marks. Yeah. And then you have control weaknesses, whereby you need to recommend a test of control. So yeah, but they can come in different forms as well. They can ask you control weakness, they can ask you test of control, and they can ask you a recommendation. So you may be required to answer in a 3-column format. Control weakness in the first one, um, test of control in the second one, or recommendation in the third one. So, but if they want to examine everything, then they can ask you control strengths and test of controls in requirement A. In requirement B, they may ask you control weaknesses and recommendations. So you can't really predict what's coming up for you. Okay. Again, the same thing, that in control weaknesses, once you have recoded or copied and pasted, you continue with explaining, and you should be explaining the risk it is going to, why you feel it is a weakness, and what impact will is it going to have on the financial statements itself. Okay. Because if there is a control weakness, obviously there is going to be some sort of impact in the financial reporting systems or in the financial statements. Yeah. So like this one, production supervisor determined the amount of bonus paid. That's not his job. So if that happens, it could result in over and unauthorized payments being made that are inaccurate or for non-business purposes, leading to overstatement of remuneration expenses, salary expenses. Okay. Control weaknesses include so many areas. It includes, let me just type here. It includes sales, purchases, sales, procurement, inventory, and what else was it? Payroll, fixed assets, and cash in bank, and inventory counts. And we have covered all of these. There are videos for each one of these inventory counts, okay, on the portal. Now moving forward. Is everyone happy with controls? Any problem? And what is Aisha saying? Sorry, didn't read her message. So copy pasting is okay, but the sentence need to be correct one and yes, Aisha, you have got it right. Absolutely. Yeah, copy and pasting. When I say copy and pasting, I don't mean that you shouldn't be, but don't literally copy everything. I mean, you can change a word or two. The meaning should be the same, because if you're literally copying and pasting, the examiner may perceive that, oh, he's just using the words that I've already drafted. He's not using his own. Is everybody happy with internal control section, syllabus area? And yeah, these exam notes have been already shared, but will be reshared in the WhatsApp group again. Is everybody happy? Any questions so far? Fahim, you still have a question?
No, teacher, I didn't lower the hand. I just
Yeah, you
unmuted.
can put your hand down then. Okay. Now, moving forward, then we have, what do we have? We have substantive procedures. Are significant area of your exam. You cannot ignore them no matter what. 30 to 40 marks. Auditor responses required under. Fahim, this is the answer to your question. Read this one. Are two substantive procedures. This shows, but that doesn't, they can be, let me type. Audit procedures can be test of controls to depends to depends on the case. Okay. Yeah. On the other hand, the technique to secure well-in is, let's have a look at the gooseberry. So that's a gooseberry question. The company carried out a full review of its PPE, depreciation rates and methods for. The finance director felt that the changes were necessary to reflect better use of the asset. This resulted in depreciation change of some assets changing significantly for this year. Describe the substantive procedure. The above screenshot is an extract from the case scenario with a requirement of 5 marks. Remember, 5 mark means you need to write down. Okay. So VSO technique plus 3. Plus 3 means tailored. Number 1 means tailored response. Number 2, accounting knowledge, accounting standard knowledge. And number 3, use figures. from the scenario. So in this in this question, as you guys can see, that we have already tutor tips for procedures. Yeah, VSO technique, you guys can see that discuss with the management of gooseberry the rationale for changing lives, residual values, and depreciation methods to assess. Oh, I can't. That just I couldn't really copy because it was Excel. So to assess the reasonableness of their judgment. So that's the continuation of the word. So that's our objective. So verb is in red, S is in green, source is in green, and objective is in purple. Now there are the tutor tips. Procedures shall always be tailored to the case. They should be generic. Read the scenario and write procedures simultaneously. You can easily draft make one procedure while reading a particular sentence. So that is what I say about using figures. Here I can write down. Use figures. Figures. That's I wrote it here from the scenario. Okay. Also, sound IFRS IAS knowledge. Okay. So the tutor tips are can be your +3. Okay. That's done. If you can see the procedure written is drafted by picking up the relevant words or information. Do not write generic procedures. You will secure little or no marks. Verb, source, and objective for mentioning. Uh, and then the objective for mentioning the source. So why we say verb is basically your action, something that the auditor is actually doing. Source is basic, could be your document, could be the process, could be anything, any piece of evidence basically that you need. Okay. An objective is ultimately, what you want to achieve, and the objective is to ensure that the assertion is being addressed properly. I mean, you don't need to draft the assertion. Assertion could be existence, completeness, classification. You don't need to draft that. All you need to do is you need to ensure that it is being achieved. Okay, it is being addressed. So say review the non-current assets register to confirm the depreciation rates for all classes of assets have been revised in line with the amended policy. So if depreciation rates are incorrect, the depreciation expense will be inaccurate. That's affecting the accuracy assertion. Okay. But we are not mentioning accuracy assertion here. Is everybody happy? This is the mark allocation of substantive. Everybody happy with substantive procedures? We have done so many lessons for substantive procedures. There is everything there on the portal. We are not going to go in that kind of detail that we have gone into the live sessions. Is everybody happy? Are you guys there? It's or is just me in the class? I need to know your responses, please. Respond in the chat box. I'm not asking you to speak. Happy. Okay. All right. We'll leave audit reporting. For audit reporting, there is an Excel file, and there is also a Word document that we will send on the group. But yeah, because this is incomplete for audit reporting. So audit reporting includes 3 different cases: CAM, going concern impacts on report, and the impacts on the auditor report of accounting issues. Either of these can be examined for 5 marks. So we already did a comprehensive live session for audit reporting, and I'll make sure to send over that Excel file and the other Word document for audit reporting. Now, general area, section A, performing well within the MCQs depends a lot on your preparation, concept, and mostly timely judgment. At times, you do have the required knowledge and concept, but you fail to pick the right MCQ just because you carried away from the exam pressure. To excel in this area along is sufficient practice is extremely important, and time locking. You need to lock the time. So section A is for 30 marks. And if you check the time limit for it, so that is 30 multiplied by 1.8, that's 54 minutes per ACCA. But you need to ensure that you allow yourself 45 minutes. Okay. So VLS time 45 minutes. Okay. Try just keep 45 minutes in your head. Doesn't mean that you have to uh if you keep 45 minutes in your head, you are allowing yourself some extra time. To excel in MCQs, you need to manage stress, pressure, and time management. To manage these, kindly make small notes and points before starting the exam to release the stress and pressure. And those are notes for stress, pressure, and time management. This is something that we have all done previously. Okay. Elimination approach. Use elimination approach. Do not read the case scenario in totality. Okay. Elimination approach means try to go for the wrong answers. Eliminate them and you'll be left with the right one. Elimination approach plus logic. Okay. Is everybody happy and shall we move on to the next notes? Or is there anything that you guys need to ask? Okay. Now let me share the next notes. So then we have examiner drills, accounting standards. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at the examiner exam drills. Can you guys see my this ACCA FA AA final tips and words by Shahrukh Yusuf? Can you see that document? Is it visible? Okay. Yeah. So now these areas will this document is not lit it's not like a revision of your exam content, but these are tips, suggestions, advices that may psychologically help you out. Okay. And they are, I call it like a smart planning document. Okay. Now, what you need to do is Priority order. Priority order means that when you approach the exam, you should you start from section A. Two questions from section A. You know, section A has 30 marks, three questions, 10 marks for each. So you try attempting 20 marks from section A, then you move on to section B, do the whole of it, and then come back to the last question from section A. So that's my recommended priority order. However, some students may say that, we found one question from section B, could be audit reporting, could be audit risk, to be our strongest question. That doesn't mean that this priority order is a rocket science or a hard and fast or a rule of thumb. You can follow any order that you feel comfortable with. At the end of the day, the first question that you select, that you draft, should be your strongest question, should be the question that you're most comfortable with. What if you come across audit risk question in section A and you are not comfortable with it? Then there is no point saying that, okay, just because tutor said that two questions from section A, I am going to do two questions. Allow yourself flexibility. That's the priority order I recommend. And the reason why I do is because section A means that, okay, you start off with MCQs, at least give yourself some rhythm, at least give yourself some, um, you know, tempo. And once that tempo is set, when you get the momentum, move on to the section B, because there is a lot of writing to do in section B. However, if you struggle with section A, and if you are most comfortable with section B, you can start with section B. I mean, do what you feel is your strongest area. Go for your strength. Start with your strength. Okay. Tip of advice. Section B allows you to express yourself in line with the techniques that we have discussed over the last few months. Hence, you can easily maximize. Unlike section B, section A is more direct and clear. This means you know that out of the four options available, one is correct and the rest are. Hence, use the elimination approach. Elimination approach already. Now let me add something along with logic or knowledge. I mean, elimination approach, just because you are eliminating the three wrong options, then okay, we have eliminated three. Now that's the one that's left has to be the right one. So that elimination approach is just not enough. You need to think logically as well. Now, if it's the one that's left, why is this the correct one? Apply your logic, apply your knowledge. So elimination approach plus logic. Okay. Or you can say logically eliminate. Clear and excel strategy. This strategy will assist you in maximizing your chances of excelling and clearing in the exam. You guys need to understand you just need 50 marks, and these 50 marks are there scattered in the exam. All you need to do is collect 50 marks from different areas. You get 10 from audit risk, you get 10 from substantive, 10. I'm just giving an example. All you need to do is that try to collect 50 marks from, I mean, you can't really secure 50 marks from one question or one syllabus area. Okay. So that's why we say don't read the whole requirement. Go for success in bits and pieces. Every requirement will have further 5 to 6 requirements. Okay. I mean, even if it's a 30-mark question, you won't be given the 31, you won't be given a 30-mark question straight away. It will be divided into different parts. Now let's assume, since section B allows greater opportunity to excel, why I say section B? Now, guys, don't think that I'm undermining section A. Doesn't mean that I'm ridiculing section A or putting it down just because I'm speaking on section B. All I'm saying is section B is a bit more flexible. You have you can write, you can impress the examiner by your writing skills, something that you can't do in Section A. Okay. So since Section B aim for securing 70% in every requirement in Section B and keeping a 10 to 15% margin of error in mind, even if you secure 55% in every question, you will still pass the exam. Now, this is very important. Probably the most exciting and interesting component of this document. Have a look at the illustration below. Now, this is your exam order. You all know this is how your exam is structured. So 130-mark question, 220-mark question each in Section B, and Section A is in front of you. Now, clear and excel. Case 1. Just a second. Aim for 70% in Section B and a pass percentage in Section A. So if you go with a mindset, okay, that I have to aim for 70% in Section B no matter what, and I will just aim for a passing percentage in Section A, that I may not do very well in Section A because I don't like MCQs, I hate them. Okay. So in that case, you will secure 64 marks. This is one scenario. You go with in the exam with the mindset that, okay, I'm going to solve Section A, but my aim is to secure 50% in every question. Every question is for 10 marks. And even if you secure 50%, 5, 15 out of 30, you are passing um, you are at least passing Section A. Now, if you secured 15 out of 30, you only need 35 marks the remain to pass the exam, 35 marks more to pass the exam. Out of what? Out of 70. Okay. Now, but if you are aiming for 50% pass percentage in Section A, you have to aim for 70% in Section B. That means that your Section B, you need to be very well equipped with Section B itself. So in this case, you will secure 64 marks. You are passing the exam. Now, some may say, sir, we are not very comfortable with Section B. This doesn't seem like a very logical or a realistic plan or a mindset to go with. What shall we do? In that case, aim for still aim for 70% in Section B, but you end up securing 55% and at least 17 marks in Section A. Yeah, it's in front of you. That if you secure, let's say that Section B, question 1, ignore Section A here. In your, you see, Section B, first question was for 30 marks. You only secured 16 and a half, 17 out of it. And that's not a very good performance. It's like 55%. Question 2, 20 marks. Question 3, 20 marks. You're literally securing 11. And I think 11 as a percentage of 20 is 55%. So you're literally securing 55% across Section B. You get 39 marks out of 70. You need 11 marks to pass. But you need to keep a margin of at least getting bit more than a pass percentage in Section A then. 17 marks in Section A mean that you need to keep a margin of 57%. 57% accuracy in Section A. You see, in both cases, your aim or motive is to maximize marks in Section B. Personally, chances to maximize in B are greater because you have the opportunity to express, draft, use audit jargons and sentences and explain everything. And that's what the examiner is looking for. In case 2, I have advised, sorry, ignore that's a mistake. Case 1, that's case 2 that we are referring down. I have advised you to secure at least 17 marks in Section A. However, you can see you have secured 39 from Section B. So if you even secure 11 marks, you have passed the exam despite failing Section A, because 11 represents 37% of Section A, 30 marks from Section A. So even if you secure 11 marks, you will fail Section A, but you will still pass the exam. 11 as a percentage of 30 is 37%. Okay. So, in a nutshell, the key highlight is, for me personally, Section B offers you flexibility, offers you greater opportunity to pass the exam. And that's why in live sessions, we focus so much on Section B. Okay. But that doesn't mean that Section A is not important. Everything's important. So, lastly, psychological war. I think has to be another very important thing. Stress, pressure, and time management. For all those who have been there with me in the live sessions, can you guys confirm if we have been using these terms regularly in the practice question Excel files? Just confirm in the chat box. You don't have to speak. Do these words look familiar? Stress, pressure, and time. Yep. Okay. So stress pressure management, take a deep breath and you, again, do not look at the exam question and case scenario in totality. Go for bits and pieces like I always say. For example, a 30-mark question would be divided into 5 different marks. If you aim to excel part-wise, you will ultimately pass the question, as every requirement within that 30 mark will be relevant to a particular paragraph. So say requirement 30 marks, requirement A will be relevant to the first or second paragraph. B could be relevant to probably third, fourth, or maybe fifth. So what you need to do is, that's why we say that read the sub requirement and then try to trace the relevant information in the scenario. You don't have to read everything together. At the end of the day, a student is a human, and if a human will read so much of information, it will be an information overload. And whenever there is information overload, there is stress and there is panic. That's how you keep your nerves calm. Read bits and pieces, don't read everything. Okay. Pressure, how you handle pressure depends a lot on your psychological well-being and trust levels. A mentally strong student will easily handle all the pressure, and mental strength can only be achieved by sufficient practice. So this is something that I can't really help you out with, something that you need to do on your own. Sufficient practice of topical and yearly past exams with the ACCA CBE software. This is something that I highly recommend. From now up until your exam date, you guys need to practice on the ACCA CBE exam software. There is no point solving on Word document. There is no point solving on your handbook or on a register, because you will be examined. You will be examined on the ACCA's examining software. So you have got your My ACCA login details. Login, get to the ACCA past exam resource or the exam library, and that will navigate you all the way to the AA exam. It's very easy to use ACCA portal, and you can solve the past exams over there. They've got everything. I mean, on the Vertex website, we, for your ease and for your help, we have literally uploaded all the past exams as far as we could. But if you want, but I recommend, just because we have got 8 or 9 days left now, in the next 8 or 9 days, you have to try to solve everything on the exam software. It is pointless to practice in a notebook when your exam is PC based. Okay. One suggestion would be to purchase a keyboard and a mouse. I mean, that's purely a suggestion. I'm not asking you to spend on a keyboard or a mouse, because in your exam, you will be typing on a keyboard and not on a laptop. Okay. Like a PC keyboard. So if you can arrange it, good. If you can't, no problem. It's all about familiarizing yourself, and you'll have a mouse as well. So you need to be familiar with the use of mouse and a keyboard so that in the exam, they are not a distraction. That's how you manage your pressure. Time management. Time management, again, time blocking. Whenever you are practicing the question, remember that I have always told you that in Vertex Learning solutions, we use 1.5 minutes per mark. Okay. VLS time limit, something that I forgot to mention here. VLS time limit. VLS time limit is 1.5 minutes per mark. Okay. Now, the first document that we saw was very important from your technical content perspective. This document is important from your psychological well-being's perspective. Okay. Sir, on the ACCA portal, where is the double exam practice available? So if you can't find it, the simplest way is to write down Google, on Google search bar, type ACCA AA past exam, my ACCA, something like that. I just remind me at the end of the session, Pallavi. I'll try and I'll show you guys. Okay, just remind me. Okay, now is everyone happy with this document? Shall we look at the other thing that we have today for today? Happy. Okay, let me just close it down then. Then we have Saad. Can you turn your mic on, please? Saad. Hello, Saad, are you there? Okay. I don't know where he is. Abdul Wahab, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just wanted to check. How are you finding it so far?
Yes, I'm fine.
Good? Are you good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay. Right, you
thank
can
you.
turn your mic off.
Trying
Now,
to grab it up all the subject.
sorry, what?
We are trying to grab up all the subject.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. No problem. Now you guys see, now we have got this document. This is a very, very important document. Guys, this is such an important document. Probably you won't find it now. It's not there on the ACCA's website. You can hardly find it now, but I found it for you guys. This is not written by me. This document has not been written by me. This has been written by the ACCA retired examiner himself. So that says, read the mind of ACCA marker. So basically, the ACCA examiner, is being a bit kind towards you and he's taking you through his mindset. So apart from the examiner comments, you also have got this document which tells you how you should draft an answer in your ACCA double exam. Okay, no problem. No problem. It's Saad. I understand. Thank you. Yeah. So, Pallavi, can you turn your mic on? And I really want you to turn your mic on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you start reading whatever you see on the screen, the one in bold, and be a bit loud,
Yeah.
slow, and articulate. Don't rush.
Okay. I am a member of the team who will mark audit and assurance.
Mhm.
This article is designed to give you, the candidate, an insight into my mind
Yeah,
so that you can better understand what a marker will be looking for when it comes to marking your audit and assurance script.
okay. Now, what do you understand by this sentence?
Um, so how the thought process
So
should be
who's
when
the
you're
writer of
answering
this document?
the marker of
And what is
or
he
the,
what is he telling you, everybody here?
he's saying that he's giving an insight
Mm,
of how this exam is marked.
yeah. So do you agree if I say that this is a very, very, very important document for all of us?
Yes,
So it's the coming from the examiner's mind itself.
itself, yes.
And he is showing, can you read this as well, please? Let me just read this one.
Okay. Um, to support your reading of this article,
You
you
should
should
refer
refer
to March, June.
to the March-June 2018 sample questions.
Click the link here. Don't read that. But you see, he is actually being so sweet enough. He is actually showing us an example, demonstrating.
Yeah,
So the examiner has picked up your March, June 2018 question, and oh, how lucky we are that this question is there in the exam kit itself.
okay.
Yeah. So you think,
Mm.
what do you think of this document? Do you think it's helpful from an exam's perspective?
Yes, it should be helpful
Yeah.
since it
Okay.
is coming from the examiner.
Examiner himself. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You can turn your mic off and I'll ask you to, turn it on again in a while. Aishat, can you still not turn your mic on?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank God. How are you?
Been better.
Are you not feeling well?
No, exam stress is getting to me,
Oh,
sir.
exam stress. How's the session treating you?
Oh, it's been good. Yes,
Good. Okay.
very informative. Yes.
And now I'll need your contribution in reading, okay? Just hold on, please. Let's read this one first. Can you see, read this, Aishat, for me, please.
Describe 8 audit risks and explain the auditor's response to each risk in planning the audit of BlackBerry Co.
Have we not covered all this in live sessions, Aishat? You have been very regular.
Yes, we've already covered audit risks. Yes,
And we did it comprehensively, didn't we?
we did.
So you see how important this area is that examiner has selected this as a sample question. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so what can you start reading here? Now, these are his words, so read them carefully.
Part B of question 17 uses a very common style of requirement, namely to describe audit risks and explain the auditor's response to each risk. Here, the question called for 8 risks and responses. It is important to plan your time and give only the required number of risks, even though the scenario will always contain more than the specified number.
And here,
The examiner advises future candidates must take note that audit risk is and will continue to be an important element of the syllabus and must be understood.
Yeah, keep your mic open, don't close it. Pallavi, turn your mic on.
Yes,
Both of
sir.
you. Now you read this. She'll get tired reading so much. You read this one.
And
Sorry,
auditors,
from here. All of this. Yeah, now read.
to explain an audit risk, it is necessary to state the relevant financial statement assertion that is affected, example, completeness, cutoff, valuation, etc., or whether amounts could be over, under, misstated, or the effect on inherent control or detection risk.
Yeah.
An auditor's response is an approach the audit team will take to address the identified risk. It does not have to be a detailed audit procedure. Discuss with management is not sufficient to deal with any identified risk. You will have to apply your knowledge of audit procedures to provide a valid response which would adequately address the risk identified.
Now, if you link it with whatever we discussed in the live sessions when we were doing risk and substantive, does it make sense now?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. You keep your mic open.
yeah.
Now, this is describe 8 audit risk. Okay. 17, question number 17. Now, these are the examiner's comments on the candidate's copy. So there are 2 candidates. So they are just showing you an illustration. Candidate 1's answer to question 17B. What is 17B? 17B is this. 8 audit risk and responses. BlackBerry company is from your Kaplan exam kit. This candidate 1 secured 6.5 marks out of 16. So he failed this requirement. Candidate 2 secured, 11 marks out of 16. So he literally passed, and 11 out of 16, that's a very nice score. Okay. So view it here. So we are going to see his answer, and then we are going to come back on the response itself. Now, inventory cost is made. So I won't read everything, but we'll just select 3. So you see 1 mark for risk and 1 mark for response. The maximum available marks are 2 or a combination. So in the first one, he secured 1.5 marks. In the second one, he secured nil. So inventory cost is made of the purchase price of raw materials and cost of conversions, including labor, production, and general overheads under IAS 2. Inventory should be measured at lower of cost and net realizable value. Okay. Now this tick denotes 1/2 a mark. So he secured half a mark, 0.5. He literally secured half a mark. So he was rewarded for this. He didn't secure anything for this. Inventory should only include the cost of raw materials. The auditor should obtain a breakdown and recalculate the inventory in line with compliance with IAS 2. Why? That's missing. Why should he do that? So he secured half a mark for explaining this. Now let's go back. Let's see what the examiner says. Now this is his note. Aisha, please turn your mic on.
Yes.
Can you read note 1, the examiner's comment on the student's answer that I just read?
Note 1 says a credit for identifying that there is a risk associated with the inventory. However, the statement of IAS 2 knowledge is not relevant to the specific risk concerning inclusion of general overheads. How inventory should be valued is not an auditor's response, and the statement is incorrect. To recalculate inventory correctly is management's responsibility, not an auditor's response.
What do you understand by this?
If the note says that the student identified the risk incorrectly, say in the specific risk concerned
Yeah. Now
inclusion
do
of
your independent check in line with whatever we did in live sessions. What do you think is missing in the audit risk here?
the impact it will have on the inventory cost.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
it overvalued, undervalued, or misstated?
Yeah, so he's not making any specific impacts, isn't it? Like he's not telling us if the inventory will be overvalued or the NRV expense will be understated, anything like that. Obviously, we don't have the question here, so we can't get the context, but at least we can tell, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's go back. For Pallavi, please read down note number, sorry, not this one, note 2.
No marks awarded as the number of warehouses is not the issue.
Yeah, and now please read the student number 2 here. That's the examiner's comment. This is the student answer, number 2.
Inventory is held in 3 warehouses located across the country. It is impossible for the auditor to attend all the inventory counts. In addition, the cost of travel is not worth the benefits.
See, that's such a funny sentence. Cost of
Yeah,
travel is not worth the benefit. So, is
it's
it
completely relevant here.
you actually feel is that anything cost of travel is not worth the benefit? That means that means he does not want to travel, the auditor. How
Yeah,
relevant to audit risk in any way?
yes.
And then candidates come back complaining, oh, we didn't get the marks, we wrote so much. So if you will write funny stories like this, you really expect the examiner to award you. Yep. Now read
Yeah,
response.
yeah. Auditor should attend inventory counts in warehouse that has a history of having its inventory misstated or the warehouse with the most material amount of inventory.
Yeah. Aishat, can you interpret the auditor response that Pallavi just read, please?
Could you read again?
Yeah, Pallavi, please read for her again.
Yeah. Auditor should attend inventory counts in warehouse that has a history of having its inventory misstated or the warehouse with the most material amount of inventory.
If you were the examiner, Aishat, will you give him marks for this sentence?
No,
Why?
because there is a sampling bias in this statement, and
There is a what?
auditor a sampling bias in my opinion, because inventory counts shouldn't be based on a history of having
Excellent.
misstated anything.
You're excellent. Very well. So he's saying that we will only visit those warehouses which have had a history of misstatements. Wow. He is auditing for the current year, and he is thinking based on what happened, based on past. He's looking backwards, isn't he? So you think that the examiner did the right thing by marking him down?
Of course.
Okay. Now, if you have a look at this is another candidate. So we just did this one right now. This case, he didn't get any marks. Now this is another candidate. He got full marks. So if you read this one, Aishat, this one.
Full inventory count will be held on 2nd, 3rd, 4th April. Any necessary adjustments will be made to reflect post-year-end movements. Inventory could be over or understated due to cutoff errors.
And read the response now.
Increase cutoff testing using goods received notes and goods dispatched notes from 31st March to 5th April.
Thank you. Pallavi, are you there?
Yes, yes, sir.
Does this case look familiar? Did we do it in the something like this in the live sessions? Goods received notes, cut off.
Yes, we did.
And do you see the responses? Don't they look familiar?
Yes.
So can you read read the examiner comments to this answer? This is the student candidate B. So he received 2 marks for this. Here, note 2, and then explain, analyze, or give us your opinion. Note 2.
Full mark awarded for identifying the risk and stating its effect on the financial statement. Full mark for a relevant auditor's response.
Now I'll go back there. Here it is in front of you. Can you analyze it? Why do you think he received full mark and the previous one didn't?
Because he has identified the risk by stating,
Yep.
I mean, he's identified the risk correctly, and he has stated the over and under valuation due to the cutoff.
So there are 2 things. The under or over statement, that's the impact, isn't it?
Impact, yeah.
What's the risk? He mentioned risk and impact both. That's why he got full marks. Over or under statements, not the risk. That's the impact. What's
Yeah, that's the impact. So the risk is the full inventory count to be held.
No, that's not a risk.
Oh,
That's a
sorry, that's
procedure.
not the risk.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's the
response.
procedure. Yeah.
Aishad, what do you think is the risk? What do you think the risk is, Aishad?
Usually, there will be a cutoff risk there when during the year, and so, for
Yes.
example, goods received might not be recorded as in the current year, which should be in the current year. So it's a good idea to get a sample of near the year-end
Year-end,
period
yeah.
of purchase invoices and goods received notes should be verified together to see if there are any that have been missed from the current year. That is the risk. Yes.
Yes. So in short, cutoff was the risk here.
Cutoff, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Because of cutoff testing, there is always a chance that purchases may not be correctly recorded for the relevant accounting period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think this one, Gooseberry Company, this is, you guys remember we did this question for substantive procedures. So he has selected this one, substantive procedure for Gooseberry Company. Candidates must be prepared to tailor their knowledge of substantive procedures, tailor their knowledge. VSO technique +3. So notes on candidate one's answers to A to C. Obviously, due to lack of time, we are not going to do everything. We'll just have a look at the first point for both the students. Oh, he secured 6 out of 15 in substantive. He secured 10 out of 15, candidate 2. Let's have a look at the, so that's the first requirement is part A. Part A was, what was part A? Sorry. Part A is substantive procedures for research and development. So we need to see his responses to research and development. That's it. Part A. Okay. That's the question. So he has written 1.6 divided by 6.4, 30% of which is material. So some additional substantive. Can you read it, Pallavi?
Yes. Sir, am I reading part
Yeah. So
number
this is the
one?
question. This is the question. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the candidate one's response.
So I'll read the question and the response.
No, just the response.
Okay. So 1.6 over 6.4 equals to 30%, which is material. So some additional substantive procedure are needed.
How many marks did he secure for this? Can you
No
tell
mark.
me? Did he receive any marks for this?
No.
Do you think the examiner did the right thing, or he was treated unfairly? Does this sentence make any sense at all?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't look funny.
It does.
How is he starting?
By
He's literally
showing
starting from calculation, and we don't know what he's calculating at all. Do we know it? Does it make
no.
no, right?
Yeah.
Read the second one, please.
Discuss with management how the development cost has been valued. So he
Does
hasn't
that look like a
identified
complete
anything here. He has not identified. He's just
anything?
yeah.
So note 1 and 2.
This point is not relevant, although the calculation of materiality is correct. It does not answer the
Does
question.
not answer the question. Does not answer the question. What does note 2 say?
No mark given as discuss alone is inadequate as a substantive procedure.
This alone, because he is only mentioning the verb. Discuss with management how the development, but there is no objective. You remember VSO technique. Where is the objective?
Yes.
Why do you want to discuss the development cost with the management? He hasn't explained it, has he?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Now we will move to candidate B, the second candidate. That's candidate 2. Okay. Aishat,
Yes.
read the 2, please.
Obtain a list of research and development expenditure and costs to ensure accuracy. Agree total to general ledger to ensure completeness.
Yeah, and read this one.
Review cash flow forecast to confirm that sufficient finance is available to complete the developments.
So you have read 3. Okay. Now we will have a look at the examiner's feedback to each of these 3. Just read note 1, 2, and 3.
Note 1 says, credit given, but for full mark, needed to recognize that the intangible asset was the main issue rather than an expense.
Yep.
Note 2 says, similar to Note 1, there was more than a total expense to be agreed to the general ledger. Note 3, each of these points applies a criterion of IAS 38 in a practical way and therefore worth a full mark.
Let's see note 3 again. Can you give your opinion on the first 3? Because he received full mark for point 3, but he received half a mark for the first and the second. So third point, does it actually include the VSO technique? And is it tailored to the scenario? Third point.
Yes, There is a verb review,
Mm.
and
What is the
objective
source?
is that source is cash flow forecast,
Perfect.
and then the objective is to confirm that sufficient finance is available
To
to
complete
see.
the developments. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is to see that you have sufficient finance available and that the intangible assets will be in a position. You have resources and finances to develop the intangible assets. This is one of the conditions of recognizing development costs as per IS 38. So this procedure is very much relevant for research and development. Why did he not receive any mark for the second point? I mean, why did you receive half a mark?
He mentioned, sorry, sir. He mentions the total, to agree the total to the general ledger. He didn't specify which expense in
Yeah.
in relation to the question.
Yeah. Because what does the note say? There was more than a total expense to be agreed to. I mean, it was more of an intangible asset issue. Okay. He was treating it like just a list completeness issue. Okay. Yeah, you can turn, both of you can turn your mic off now. Thank you, Aishat and Pallavi. And we are done with this document. Is everybody happy? Respond in the chat box. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So we have, let me open up the examination trends now. And probably going to be my most favorite. This literally is my most favorite file. We have used this so many times. Can you guys have a look at this document in front of this Excel file in front of you? Visible. Now you see these are the pass rates of your ACCA passing AA since March 2023. So you can see the on average, if you have a look at the average of all these figures, average of all this. So since 2023, the passing average, the average success rate of the passing person is 44.25%. So that's the success rate, and that's quite low. That means that 56% on average, 56 percent students on average fail AA. And the highest, the best attempt was March, June 2025. Highest, and along with September 24, 47% pass rate. So the pass rate for the average pass rate for AA is 44.25, which is not good, honestly. Sorry. AA average pass rate. Yep. And if you see the worst attempt was December 23, 41%. Probably that was the lowest. And yet this one, 44, 44, 44. So again, December is always a challenging attempt, and you guys are going in December. We don't know, but it's necessary to. I'm not scaring anybody, but I'm just telling you that more or less, the passing rates are the same. On the lower end, they are 41%. The higher end, they are 47. That doesn't mean 6%. 6% doesn't make any real difference. Okay. Examination trends. Now, what I've tried to do is I've tried to compile list of priority areas. Okay. Based on your examination trends. That doesn't mean that this is important and that's not. Whatever I've jotted down is basically based on your examination trends. Now, if you guys see, in June 2025, June 24, December 24, I'll open two documents simultaneously. Now, this is all these analysis. Sorry, let me note. These analysis are based on section B, 70 marks, because ACCA past exams do not include ACCA past exam do not include section A's content. So I can't really do anything about that because probably they just want to change the MCQs every year, or I don't know. I really don't know. So, but based on the available information, so the available information is the section B from your past exam. So just have a look at this. Your knowledge-based questions in June 2025. So there's a formula attached to this whole list. This whole list. So if you want to, I'll forward it to you in the WhatsApp group. So say if you want to check 2025, just click on it. And then you want to check what knowledge-based questions were examined. There you go. ISA 240, two advantages of internal audit function, something like that. Okay. So the knowledge-based questions are normally examined from your internal controls, IC, and AR components. Okay. Okay, that's the reason why. Examined in audit risk and internal controls. Okay. Look at this very carefully. Now, so many of you get confused that, oh, sir, knowledge-based requirement. It's a rote learned requirement. Anything, test of your memory, test of your knowledge, test of whatever you read in the book. We can't really memorize. We can't really remember. We can't really, recall. So you don't worry. The weightage of knowledge-based questions is just in front of you. 11% total section B. Section B is for 70 marks in every attempt. That's something you know. Knowledge-based questions 11, 11, and 13% in your last three exam attempts. Then what about scenario-based? Pallavi, please keep your mic on.
Yes, sir.
What's the weightage for scenario-based questions in the last three exam sittings?
89% for June 2025, 89% for June 2024, 87% for December 2024.
Which ones examined heavily? Knowledge or scenario?
Scenario based.
And is there any comparison?
No,
How high is 89 from 11?
11. Yeah, very high.
Very high. We can't really
Yeah.
compare, can we?
No,
And you have been very regular in live sessions. What have we focused on? Scenario based? Have we not focused on scenario based questions?
scenario based. Yes.
This is the reason why.
Yeah.
You get it now.
Yes.
We did substantive procedures. Remember, there was a 2-hour session for substantive procedures. So
Yes.
many cases were covered. All of them were
Yes.
scenario based. Were you there in
Yes.
the audit risk session where we did
I
CAM,
think.
we did accounting issues, we did going concern reporting implications?
Yes, I think I
All of
was. Yeah.
all of those are scenario based.
Scenario based. Yeah.
So this is 89%. This is coming from here, this 62, and this 62 is literally a formula from your exam trends. These are the 3 exam sittings. Okay.
Yeah.
You can turn your mic off now. Now this is planning and risk assessment. Now in June 2025, planning and risk assessment, 12 marks, June 24, 18, and December 24, 17. Analysis based on section B, obviously. So the percentage is 17%, 26%, 17% again. Substantive procedure, 39%, 39%, 40%. Audit reporting, 7%, 7%, 7%. There's a reason why I've clubbed them in yellow. Okay. Aisha, can you turn your mic on, please? So I've selected the weightage from June 25 for these syllabus areas. And the bottom right, you can see the sum. What's the percentage? 17 plus 39 plus 7.
17. Okay, so 44.1.
Yes, so it's 63%. Planning, substantive, and audit reporting. What's their weightage if you total them up? 17% plus 39% plus 7%. Isn't it 63?
63, yeah.
Yeah. Now, 63% of 70. Here, can you see the formula?
Yes.
What is 70? Why? Do you remember what 70 is?
Total marks for section B.
And what is 63% of 70?
44.1 marks.
And we are talking about which attempt right now?
June 2025.
And what if we talk about June 24? Same. 71, if you get confused where the 71 came from, again, 26, 39, and 7. There it is, 71. Understand?
Yes.
How much? What's the percentage? What's the total figure now?
49.7.
Perfect. What about this? In December 24, 64%, 17, 40, and 7. So 64 as a percentage of 70 is
44.8.
how many? And across all these, just look at these 3 figures right now. Ignore everything. Just answer my question. How many marks do you need to pass the exam? Minimum passing
Very
marks
close.
for the exam.
Yeah, 50.
And how close are these figures from 50?
Very close.
Do you understand what the point that I'm trying to make now?
Yes.
What's that? Explain, please. When I say combo 1, You get what that means?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
What it means?
It means focusing on section B will get us closer to a passing mark.
Yeah, right. You can turn your mic off. I'll carry on. Thank you for your help. You see, there's a reason why I've highlighted audit risk, substantive procedures, and audit reporting in yellows. These are your combo one. Okay? These are your combo one. I always say that focus on areas that the examiner regularly examines and heavily examines. Substantive, you can't ignore. Risk, you can't ignore. Reporting, you can't ignore. And that's the best combination for me. If you see combo 2 has got internal controls, code of ethics, and code of corporate governance. So combo 1, obviously internal controls are examined in every attempt in section B. And internal controls are huge. They are huge. Okay. Their weightage is 29, 29, 30, more or less the same. Code of ethics were examined in June 25 in section B. Nothing was examined in June 24. Nothing was examined in yeah. Yeah. So internal controls, code of ethics, and code of corporate governance, as you can see. Now the percentage is in front of you. 26%. Now they 38% of combo 2 gives you 26 marks. It gives you 20 marks. It gives you 25 marks. Total is obviously 70. But the answer is in front of you. The marks that are closer to passing marks. Which combo is closer to the minimum passing marks? That's combo 1. Doesn't make combo 2 less important. I mean, it's just an analytical representation or just a comparison based on your examination trends. In combo 2, code of ethics, code of corporate governance may or may not be examined. But one thing's for sure, you have to take internal controls seriously because they are regularly examined. You see the percentages, 29, 29, 30. Okay. So yeah, so this was just an, you know, analytical representation of whatever we did. Is everyone happy with it? Any questions so far? Is everybody happy? Okay. Now, if I close this now, let me show you so that you don't stress out, that many people get stressed out with, okay, knowledge-based questions, just because in the live sessions, we may not have discussed knowledge-based questions in such detail. So always remember that knowledge-based questions are either examined from internal controls and audit risk area only. So 2 syllabus areas from section B, audit risk and internal controls. Knowledge-based questions will be examined from these areas only. And for your help, now again, we didn't cover knowledge-based questions in such detail as we did the scenario-based, but that doesn't mean that we will leave you out, we leave you all empty-handed. So can you guys see my screen? So this is the list of knowledge-based questions that have been historically examined in ACCA AA for the past 15 years. And this has been a great piece of our AA team at VLS. So we've literally spent a lot of time in developing and drafting this document. Many of the knowledge-based questions are literally repetitive. They can be repeated. Even the wordings won't change, and you'll find it out. Say one of the requirements that was examined in, I think, uh, June 24 or maybe 25 was explain the benefits of audit planning. So if I search that, it was examined in June 24, benefits of audit planning. There it is, benefits of audit planning. So you have got it here. Okay, you have got it here. Explain the benefits of audit planning. Now, you may not be examined, you may not be expected to write just like how the examiner writes in their suggested solution or here in this document, but you need to just learn how to make a valid point. And I'd always say use of keywords firstly, and secondly, your sentence structure makes sense. Yeah, that's it. So this document will be shared with all of you. It's a 29-page document. You don't have to cram or learn it. Just go through it, okay? And even if you struggle with knowledge base, just to cover up your knowledge base questions, learn how to make a point, and that's what you need to check from this document. Do not try to cram, do not try to learn everything, okay? Because those are examiner's version, and you cannot write like the examiner. Say what is meant by professional skepticism and why it is important, 3 marks. Professional skepticism, you shouldn't be writing just such a huge paragraph like the examiner does. All you need to do is explain what the professional skepticism is. Okay, I don't really think, because this is they are not asking you for definition, so you don't really write the definition. If they say define professional skepticism, then you write define it. But if they're just asking for explanation, just carry on explaining it. Does this question bank seem it may help you out? Are you guys happy with the question bank, the knowledge-based question bank? Again, I just showed you all that the knowledge-based questions for the last 3 attempts, their weightage has been quite on the lower side, 11 to 13% from section B and 8 to 9% of your whole double exam only. Okay. So even if you do well in scenario-based questions and you literally secure 2, 3, 4 marks from knowledge base, you'll do well in the exam, I'm sure. Okay. And then lastly, yeah, just give me a second, please. Augusta, are you there? Can you turn your mic on now? Are you still driving?
Yeah, I'm still on the road. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you're still driving. Okay. Yeah. So can you guys see this? Pallavi, please turn your mic on.
Yes, sir.
Are you there,
Yes,
Pallavi?
sir. Yes, yeah. Yes, can you hear me,
Okay,
sir?
okay, I can hear you. Sorry, I just muted my computer. Yeah, can you speak now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes. So you see, this is the audit and assurance report, and obviously this is a huge document. We can't go through the whole of it, but you guys should be going through the whole of it, you and everybody else in isolation when you're preparing for the exam. But we'll just go through bits and pieces. This question, explain the responsibilities of fraud. So I'll open up the list. This is a knowledge-based requirement, okay? Did you
Mhm.
see the document that I showed right now? Knowledge-based questions.
Yes.
So let's search for this one in that document. Can you see the knowledge-based requirement bank?
No, no, I'm not able to.
Right now, what can you see on the screen? What
Oh
can you?
yeah, okay. I can see, yeah, knowledge-based
Yes.
question bank. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, can you see this? Explain the responsibilities of Coronado and under.
Yes.
So that's March June examiner report. Examiner is just discussing the answer to this knowledge-based requirement. So we'll
Yeah.
search if this was examined previously or not.
Uh, so sir, what is your question? I'm looking for the question for this.
No. I'm just talking to you right now. I will ask the question.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see question number 33 here?
Yes.
What does it say?
Describe auditors' responsibilities in relation to the prevention and detection of fraud and error.
So which document is this? Can you see the heading of this document?
Uh,
Which document is this?
and knowledge-based question
Yes.
bank.
Yeah. 4 marks. I told you in the Excel file that they are examined for 8 to 9 marks from section B. So this one was for 4 marks from audit risk. That's audit risk, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, it was examined somewhere in 2016 or 17, maybe. It's this requirement that you just read. Now, can you
Yeah.
read this one in that was examined in March, June 24? Can you read this one?
The one that's highlighted in blue.
Yes, yes.
Explain the responsibilities of Coronado and Company under ISA 240, the
Hmm.
auditor's responsibilities relating to fraud in an audit of financial statements.
So what's the similarity between this requirement and the one that you read before? Or what's the difference? Is there any difference?
No,
Both of them are same.
same, yeah.
So do you understand that questions are repeated? This is a
Yeah,
secret that I shared right now. This is literally a secret. And I proved it
yeah,
here.
yeah.
This question is exactly what was examined 10 years ago, or maybe we don't remember actually, but long ago. And we just showed it right now. So now you understand how important that question bank is, this one.
Yes,
You can easily use this, and if it's your lucky day, some question may be repeated.
yes. Sir, I have a question
Yeah,
regarding the knowledge-based question
yeah,
bank,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
on the portal. So
Yeah.
I opened it once. So the answers to it, can you open them simultaneously?
Answers to what? I mean, the answers are there.
No, they're there, but like if I'm opening the questions
Hmm.
and I also want to open the answers, would it do that simultaneously?
No, I don't think so, because the document has questions and the answers are built beneath it, just like here. No,
Oh, okay. So I can't, it's just one document.
here it's just one document and it's 29 pages. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Now you
Okay,
can,
that's fine.
yeah, turn your mic off. Now I'll continue reading. Okay, now just trying to wrap up everything. Now describe aid, audit, risk, and response to planning of Pimento company. Now, let me just show you that this is a very common requirement, aid, audit, risk, and responses. The first step is to identify the factors which will give rise to an audit risk. This is the examiner's comment. This information can be found in the scenario. When undertaking this, read through it a good exam technique to use the highlight function, as this provides a visual aid. Highlight function, that means they are saying that in the ACC exam software, highlight every exam that you, every risk that you identify, that you feel, oh, that's the right risk. A strong knowledge of accounting standards is required to adequately explain the audit risk and provide an auditor response. Financial accounting knowledge is important, as audit risk will always focus on accounting treatment used in those financial statements. In Pimento company, accounting issues which give rise to audit risk include relating to inventory valuation, property, plant and equipment, and bonus of shares. Pallavi, did we not discuss these areas before?
Yes, we have.
And did I not tell you that accounting knowledge is important for audit risk?
Yes, you did, sir.
And what is the examiner telling now? Telling the same thing.
The same thing.
Yep. Now I say that understatement, and you have to be specific. If a balance is clearly at risk of understatement, then no credit will be awarded if candidates refer to the risk that could be misstated. So if you don't know if it is over or understatement, now let's read the whole of it. Having identified the risk factor, to next step to explain the risk. To do this, candidates need to state the specific area. Now, specific area. State the specific area with an, for example, cutoff valuation, or a reference to under, over, misstated, or a reference to incorrect inherent control detection risk. Misstated will only be rewarded if it is clear the balance could be either over or understated. If a balance is clearly at a risk of understatement, then no credit will be awarded if candidates refer to the risk that the balance could be misstated. I mean, you can't really play around. You have to be specific. That's what they're saying in easy terms. The explanation of risk must also state the specific area of the financial statements that has been impacted. Specific area impacted in respect of loss on disposal, only noting that non-current assets could be, or assets could be overstated, would not be awarded. An appropriate explanation instance would be that property, plant and equipment. So if you say that non-current assets or asset will be overstated, you won't be rewarded. You have to say which non-current asset, that will be property, plant and equipment, be it intangible assets, be it long-term investments. You have to be specific. That's what they are saying. So this is their requirements have got a bit more strict, like they've got a bit more strict, yeah. Yeah, so let's have a look at I explain and identify 8 deficiencies in her deficiencies is internal controls, 8 deficiencies in Harper system of internal controls and provide a recommendation. So they are asking you for 8 deficiencies, 1 mark per deficiency and 1 mark per recommendation. Okay, so that's a 16-mark comprehensive requirement. And they are saying in identifying, marks are awarded for this is a fact that we all know. The first step is tackling deficiencies to read the whole scenario in full. This gives an idea of what the potential points are. Now, I normally say read and write together, but the examiner is saying read the whole. So but I also say, I've also said in the live lectures that it depends. If you feel like reading the whole scenario in full, highlighting the points, it's up to you. But if you feel that as soon as I come across any deficiency or strength, I'll draft it then and there. Again, it's up to you. The first step is tackling. Okay, this gives an idea of what the potential answer points are, easier to explain. Having looked at the whole scenario, candidates should reread it, drafting their answers as they go along. Do not be daunted by the length of scenario. Be methodical and stay focused. That's what I say. Go for success in bits and pieces. Candidates often copy and paste but fail to spot deficiencies. Okay. In Harper, some candidates identified irrelevant deficiencies such as sales are generated by members of Harper Company's team visiting corporate customers. There is nothing wrong with the sales representative visiting customers. Customers pay in cash. The company is a retailer and therefore some customers. So they are picking up irrelevant points. That's why I say copy and pasting will not let alone fetch you marks if you but fail to spot deficiencies. That's why copy and pasting can be a blindly followed exercise because you are literally reading and tuck copy paste. No, that's not how it. If you do that, you may pick up the wrong the wrong controlled weaknesses. So that's why we say read it carefully and see how you feel it is a weakness in the context of that scenario. Purchase orders are raised without checking the inventory levels. The scenario stated that approved requisitions were received as part of the ordering process. There was no indication in the scenario that inventory levels had uh, had not been checked as part of approving these. Candidates should not assume um, candidates should not assume there is a deficiency unless there is some indication in this scenario. So again, if you don't feel, I mean, we don't have the question in front of us right now, but what I understand from this point is that you really need to look for hints in the scenario. Don't assume, okay? Or don't blindly pick up points. So we have done internal controls a lot many times, and the examiner is also telling you to practice these questions. Frisia company, Petra company. I think Petra we have done. Dale we have done. It's on the portal. I think there is a video for Pomeranian as well. So all these are there in your Kaplan exam kit. And lastly, I think, do we have, is there an answer? Let me check what we have for substantive procedures. Describe the procedure the auditor should perform, relating to Everest Company's property, plant, and equipment. It is important to consider the issue in this scenario and compare this to the question requirement. Question can sometimes focus on a specific assertion, such as valuation or completeness, or on a particular element of an account, such as just revaluations. Where this is the case, care must be taken to ensure that answers only relate to this assertion or account. Tailored responses, VSO plus 3, that's what he's talking about. Spend time understanding the issue and carefully reading the question. Ensure that procedures given are tailored and more likely to score marks. This requirement was only in relation to matters identified regarding Everest PPE. Therefore, general PPE procedures would not gain credit. That's why I always say that your answer should be case specific, case tailored in case of substantive procedures. Remember, if you understand the VSO plus 3 technique carefully, you will excel in substantive procedures. And I also say that accounting standard knowledge is very important. So there is a document that we have already shared for the accounting standards that are commonly examined in your AA exam. Can you all see it? Just confirm. Can you guys see it? Yeah. So you see summary of IFRS, the important accounting standards that are examined in your AA. You have got IFRS 15, IFRS 9, IFRS 16, IS 21, IS, and relevance to each syllabus areas. That's here on your right. So each of these accounting standards are important for audit risk, substantive procedures, and audit reporting, because all these syllabus areas may include some accounting standard issues related questions. Audit risk clearly includes, substantive procedures clearly include, and audit reporting may include if they examine the describe the impact and describe the issue and discuss the impact on the audit report. If they select that type of question for audit reporting, then accounting standard knowledge should come very handy. So based on your ACES past examining trends. And yeah, so I will make sure to send these documents to all of you. And let me see if I can open up the link for practice question videos for ACCA practicing portal. If not, then I'll share it in the group. Yeah, so I'm having trouble sharing it right now. Serious trouble sharing it right now. I'm gonna do is that I will definitely send a link on the group. Now, basically, yeah, it's not opening right now. Sorry about that. It's literally hanging. So so if that's the case, then from next week until the next week onwards, your focus should be on looking at reviewing all the documents that we shared, that we discussed in the lecture today, which includes the exam techniques, the exam drills, examiner expectations, the examination trends, the Excel file, the examiner report. All these areas, a list of knowledge-based questions you should be looking at every day, having a look at that every day, along with practice of your ACCA past exams on the ACCA platform itself. ACCA platform, your My ACCA portal, and then you have your past exam library, and then you have got select AA or audit and assurance, and then it will take you, then select the attempt, the exam sitting. Could be December 24, could be June 22, whatever. Try to practice on the ACCA portal by time allocating within 3 hours. 3 hours, 3 hours. You have 8 days, and you should be aiming to solve at least, at least 2 past exams every day. This will help you in stress, pressure, and time management. Along with it will be a preparation of your technical areas and your psychological areas as well. With practice, do look at the notes that we discussed. And if you face any technical difficulty, then you have the practice question videos for technical or content related difficulties, or details on specific exam techniques. Watch the practice question video for the relevant syllabus area on the portal. Say if you are if you want details on the exam technique for substantive procedures, we have got the live session uploaded on the portal. Go and check it. I mean, obviously you'll have this, you say you are going through the note that I shared today, the exam technique note, but you want further detail for exam technique for substantive procedures. You can simply log into your Vertex portal, watch the live lecture for substantive procedures. That will give you extra information. Now, same goes for audit risk, same goes for internal controls, because that document may seem a bit too summarized. If you want details, you have got the live sessions. So the documents that you will be needing are exam techniques, documents, exam techniques, then you have exam drills, examiner report, and then you have list of knowledge-based questions, exam trends, what else was it? Accounting standards, audit risk scenarios. I will send all these, don't worry about that. And audit reporting summary. So I will send all of these, don't worry about that. I've just mentioned it here. You can copy and paste it if you want. Okay. So before I actually bid farewell, say goodbye, I know it's late in many places. A quick word from everybody. Asad, can you talk now? I mean, it's literally for a minute or two if you want. If you can, sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. How did you find everything?
Always, yes, it is helpful, and I can see all those documents are relevant. And inshallah, if we focus on this in the coming days, it may help us to pass the exam and get the required pass mark. Thank you very much for that help.
Did you see throughout the efforts that the efforts that we made in the last 2 months, and now I showed you the examiner's version. Did you see how they align? They link up?
Yeah, absolutely, they are aligning, because this already knowledge from the previous exams, and it's based on your previous class live sessions that you provide.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Then we have, who is it? KM. KM, can you speak right now? Can you talk? If you can't talk, then still cannot. Okay, then in that case, just final words from your end, you can just type them out. Augusta, can you see? Can you speak? Augusta, still on road. Okay, right. Pallavi, before you leave, then I'll just speak to you. Pallavi, before leaving.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just give a final word from your end and then you can. Obviously, we are just finishing the lesson on anyways.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for today's this webinar, and um, I think it's a great boost in these
Mhm.
last days now to the final exam,
Mhm.
and whatever you have imparted today
Mm.
for the final revision, I think I
Yeah.
shall put it in practice. Try and see I can do every day 2
Yeah.
exam papers from ACCA.
Yeah.
If I can't cover from the portal,
Mm.
because I think it'll be too much as well.
Mm.
But at least from what you've said, if I can cover every day 2,
Mm.
that should help me pass the exam. I shall definitely do it with all my efforts put in. Yeah. But overall, thank you, sir, very much.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, one thing to add on, as you can see in the messages, that starting from the recent one, so you have to work back, reverse working.
So
Say
from 2025 going
June
backward.
25, then March 25, then December 24. Okay. So you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
reverse chronological order. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Because the
you.
recent ones are the most important. Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Pallavi, for reading out and helping me out. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Okay, Fahim. Lastly, Fahim, and then we'll finish the class. Fahim, what about you? Quick word from your end. How did you find uh, ACCA AA by Vertex Learning Solutions?
It's pretty good as always. And then
And how
especially
did you find Shahrukh Yusuf?
yeah, good as well. Good as always. Yeah. Very helpful. And then main thing is our courses are interactive.
Yeah. So how did you find this session, the session today? It's just a week before, just 8 days before your exam.
Yeah, I was kind of confused, like not confused, more like I was kind of like thinking like how should I plan my these last like few days this week basically. So I kind of have a better idea now
Hmm.
about the things I need to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like I was focusing more on practicing uh, some other practice questions. Now I think it's better to actually practice the past exam papers than those questions.
Yeah. Now at least you have a plan in front of you. You know what you need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. Brilliant. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Fahim. And you can turn your mic off. Thank you, Fahim, and thank you everyone else. It was a pleasure being with all of you, and pleasure kind of helping you all with ACCA Audit and Assurance. And yeah, uh, it's just a week left. The fact that we won't be attending live webinar sessions anymore doesn't mean that we'll be disconnected. The WhatsApp group is available for you all, and I'm available on my personal. You can reach me out personally if you are not comfortable asking questions on the group. Okay, be in touch. Take care of yourselves. Study well, and I really hope that you all excel with flying colors in ACCA AA for December 2025. This is so for the very last time. This is your tutor, Shahrukh Yusuf, signing off today. And yes, I will be sending all the documents. Yes, don't worry about that. This is your tutor, Shahrukh Yusuf, for the very last time, signing off. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.